Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning. I'm Sir Muhammad Ikhwan bin Samsudin from SMK Chedonjaya Maran. So today I'm going to give you a simple briefing about a new format SPM 2021, which is English 1 Reading and Use of English. So before we move further, let's look what is the differentiation between PT3 and SPM format 2021. First of all, look at type of instrument. So both paper PT3 and SPM 2021 share the same type of instrument, which is ujian bertulis pemahaman reading and use of English. For the type of items, both papers also share the same thing, which is objektif aneka pilihan, objektif pelbagai bentuk, and subjektif respon terhad. But for the type of questions, both papers are different. For the part 1, both papers share the same number of questions, which is 8 questions. But for the part 2, the difference is PT3 2019 has 10 questions, but for the SPM 2021 got only 8 questions. For part 3, they share the same number of questions, which is 8 questions. And for part 4, PT3 2019 has 6 questions. Meanwhile, in SPM, it consists of 10 questions. And the last part, which is part 5, they got 8 questions for PT3 and 6 questions for SPM 2021. How about marks? Both papers share the same total marks, which is 40 marks. And the weightage for the reading paper still remain the same as PT3, which is 25%. And the time allocation is difference between PT3 and SPM. Okay, for PT3, it only has 1 hour and 50 minutes. But for SPM, it gives you 1 hour and 30 minutes. For the scoring board, both papers share the same thing, which is dichotomous. Okay, so only a few things that are different between PT3 and SPM 2021. Now we move to part 1. What is a part 1? Okay, part 1 consists of 8 questions, which is multiple choice question. So, before this, if you look at PT3 questions, they have 4 different answers, which is A, B, C, and D. But in new format, they only have A, B, and C. So how you want to get the score or full marks in the part 1? Okay, I want to give you some tips about how to score in part 1. First, read the questions carefully. Okay, and number 2, highlight the keywords in the questions. Why? Because if you don't highlight the keywords, you don't know what are the requirements in the questions. And number 3, read the stimulus twice Why? Because if you read once, you don't know what is the task or questions want you to answer. And number 4, please eliminate the answers that are irrelevant to the stimulus. Why? Because if you don't eliminate the answers, you will get confused. For example, look at question number 1. There are 3 samples answer here, A, B, and C. If you don't eliminate one of them, you will get confused whether the answer A or B or C. If you eliminate one of them, you only have 2 possible answers. Okay? And you can look again to the stimulus and decide which one is the best answer. Okay, now we look at sample answer questions for the part 2. There are 2 images here, which is the sample question paper for SPM 2021. Okay, for this paper, okay, you have to look carefully what are the requirements and the instruction here. And if you can highlight the keywords here, it is possible to you to get the full marks. But how to score in part 2? First, please identify the sentences in the text, whether it is present tense, past tense, past continuous, future tense, and so on. So it will help you to know what are the tenses and the possible answers. Okay, look at number 2. The second tip is highlight the keywords before the blank space. Why? Because the clue is there. If you don't highlight the keywords before the blank space, you don't know whether the sentences is correct, and you don't know whether the tenses is past tense or present tense. For example, if the word to before the blank space, you have to answer it in a root words. If the words is not the root word, you can eliminate the answers. Okay? Look at the third tips. Read the answers. Okay? Please read the answers carefully so that you know what is the meaning of each answer. And number 4 is eliminate the answers that are irrelevant to the text. For example, if the text is past tense, so you have to eliminate the answers that represent present tense or future tense. If not, you will get confused whether the answers in the past tense, present tense, or the future tense. So please be careful and please watch out what are the exact tenses in this part. Let's move on to part 3. This is the sample question paper for part 3. So this text is more longer than in a part 2. But this extract don't have any blank spaces. But don't worry, because I'll give you the best tips to score in part 3. First, please read the question first. Don't straight away read the article or story or extract in the question. Why? Because they already give you the clues and the keywords in the question. For example, paragraph 1. paragraph 2, and paragraph 3. So the clue is there. You know that you have to find the answers in the respective paragraph that have been mentioned in the questions. So please highlight the keywords there. Okay? And then after you highlight the keywords and the paragraph, which paragraph, you have to eliminate the answers that are irrelevant to the extract. Like I mentioned before, if you don't eliminate it, you will get confused. So don't mess your life with the irrelevant answer. So I think whether the extract is longer or not, actually is not your problem, because it's already give you the clues and the keywords in the questions. Okay? Now we move to the fourth part. This part actually is more difficult than in the part 3. Why? Because this is about a story. And they give you more answers rather than the blank spaces. Okay? They give you 8 choices, but the only that you only have to fulfill is 6 answers. Okay? So what are you going to do? Let me share how to score in part 4. First, read the whole story through in 1 or 2 minutes to get a clear picture what are the story is about. And then, after you have finished the read story, highlight the keywords before the blank spaces so that you know what is the sequences in the story. And then, identify the suitable sentences in the answer here. Okay? So, you know that this is the best suitable answers to be fulfilled to complete the story. And the last one, same like before, eliminate irrelevant sentences. If you don't eliminate irrelevant, you will get so confused because you don't know how to complete this story. And the last part is part 5. This is a structure. Okay? I want you to read carefully the instruction here. Please read twice, because sometimes if you read once only, you will miss the important information. For example here, these are the interviews in the question papers. Don't try to read or scan, okay, the text here. How to score in part 5 is very important for you. First, please read the question here. Whether they want to answer how and why they want the answers. Okay? And then, number 2, second tip is highlight the keywords. What are the keywords? Keywords means the information that will going to help you to find the answers in the text here. For example, if you can look here, question here, okay, highlight the word birthday, so that the word birthday will be your keywords, and you can find here in the interview here, where are the keywords? Because the question asks you to identify which paragraph. For example, if the interview here in paragraph 4, the word birthday are in the paragraph 4. So you know that the answer will be in paragraph 4. Okay, the third tips is for the question 37 until 40. Please highlight the bold words. I want to emphasize again, please highlight the bold words in the instruction. Why? Because sometimes we are too exciting to answer the question and we just miss the important information there. For example, the bold word here is no more than one word. If you don't read the instruction there, you will miss the information, important information. So you will write more than one word and the answers will be wrong. So please highlight or underline or something else that can remind you that you don't have to write more than one word. Okay, the last tip for the part 5 is highlight the keywords before and after blank spaces. It will help you to get the answers from the extract here. If you don't highlight the keywords, you will get confused and it is difficult for you to find the answers. Okay? Alright, let's move on to the last page of question paper for reading and use of English. What is it? Okay, this is an answer sheet. The answer sheet is provided at the end of question paper. Some of you in the PT3 miss this answer sheet. You only answer the question in the question paper. Okay? So you leave it blank here and all the teachers thought that you don't answer at all. Okay? The second tip is all answers must be written in the answer sheet. All those 40 answers must be written here. Don't forget to write here because the marks will be taken from here. The third tip is don't leave the blank answers. If you don't have any ideas or any answers, just try to answer it. Don't leave the blank answers. And the fourth one is answers all the question provided. Okay? So make sure that you get this answer sheet and answer all the questions here. Okay, so I want to remind you again. Magic is believing in yourself. If you can make that happen, you can make anything happen. So, please make sure that you have to listen and understand all the tips that I give you just now. Please bear in your mind that SPM 2021 is different than PT3. So, I think that's all for me. See you next time. I rest my case.